Hey, everybody, welcome back to Visuant TV. I'm the host, Brandon Lee, and I get to spend some time today with Steve Riley from the Tax Collector's Office at Manatee County in Florida. Hey, Steve, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Hey, you just recently went to the Visuant users group, and you're getting exposed to the new 5.0 version. And I want to ask a little bit about that. But before we get it, could you just tell us a little bit how Visuant has helped your organization with streamlining the use of data?
Well, Visuant has been a huge impact on our office. We went from meeting basically 0 times a month to basically what it's done is it's organized it so we have consistent meetings. We have a consistent process to review scorecards, to review action items, look at decision logs, and it has just helped the communication piece from the top down in just a huge way. We saw a huge impact on that because prior surveys, that was the number one thing was communication. Communication's not good. Since we've implemented Visuant, it's just streamlined and made it so much more impactful, and the communication has increased tremendously.
So it sounds like your team, like the team enjoys the structure that it gives. That's a big benefit to you.
Oh, absolutely, because everyone has a certain day they meet. They know when they're going to get the pass down. That communicates everything, and it just it's been absolutely tremendous, and it's just part of the week. I mean, there's no guessing games. They know what they're going to expect. The expectations are clear from the top. Expectations are clear from the bottom, knowing what we're going to relay down. So yeah, it's been a huge success.
Cool. Hey, Steve, we didn't really talk about this in the pre recording. If you don't mind, what does that overall process look like? I hear from a lot of Visuant users like it streamlines, it gives us consistency, it helps with our communication. Could you tell us kind of like what does that look like on a week to week basis for you? Like you talked about, you get a pass down and you know what to expect. Could you give us a little bit more detail on how that structures you?
Yeah, so the senior team meeting is every Tuesday at 9 a.m. And if we're unable to make it, one of the directors, and we have a rep in that fills in for us. So there's never a cancellation. The meetings go every week regardless. And so what happens is we have our meeting, and whatever things that we discuss, any decisions that we make, we go into Visuant then because we all have duties. One person has a pass down duty, one person has an action item duty, decision log duty. And so we all have, then one's a facilitator. So we all have duties. And then we rotate every month. And that's the same for every meeting in the organization. So then our meetings at Tuesday, we make decisions or pass down information. And then the next meeting starts on Wednesday. So the managers' meetings are at 9 o'clock on Wednesday. And then other departments meet Wednesday afternoon. And then Thursday, some meet. And then the final one is Friday, which is all the people who work on the front counter. It's probably the largest. So they only have 30 minutes, so they have to hustle, but it passes down to all these different meetings. And then if they have issues that they want to pass up, then they'll talk about it, and then it'll pass up to our meeting the next week to either answer their question or discuss. So that process flows back and forth very smoothly. And you can have someone on the very bottom come in, we've had it, to where they come into our meeting, they rep in, we let them see what it's like. They could actually facilitate our meeting because our meeting is no different than their meeting with what the agenda items are. So it's just been tremendous.
Oh, thank you for sharing all that detail of it. I think that's very clear for everybody listening as well. So I want to transition into Visuant 5.0. What are some of your early impressions of the new version?
Well, the new version, they've had a lot of upgrades that have been pretty significant. I mean, some things you may think, wow, it's simple, but it really has an impact, and one that may seem small to a lot of people, but when we make decisions and log it in the decision log, we were unable to, there wasn't a search item. So if you made a decision a year ago, you literally had to go back each meeting, each week, back to back to look, when did we make this decision? When did we make this decision? Now you just type in whatever the topic was, and it has a search mechanism that pulls it up. So the searchability is amazing. But even with the scorecards, there's improvements with the scorecard and every facet, whether it's around the table, which is when you go around the table and everybody has a topic to discuss. So each area, they've really made an effort to get feedback from the user and make changes to make it a better program. And so we definitely have seen that.
Yeah. Now we're doing this interview about a month after the user group conference. Is there any functionality in there that some of your team members have really expressed a higher interest or gratitude that the new feature is there?
I think everyone has different, like even the ones that went to the conference, some of them like, and they're going to make more of an effort of on the action items to put in there the notes. Sometimes you don't put enough detail, and so if you go back a year from now, you remember the action item, but there's not enough detail to recall exactly what it was all about. So I think you can add notes to those action items. That's one of the things that they liked. Just different things throughout the program. People have different opinions on.
Yeah. So I want to wrap us up with two questions. Really, is what? And I know you've been using Visuant since 2007, so it's been a while. But what was it like before you used Visuant? What were your meetings like before Visuant?
Well, before Visuant, we were an organization of silos. We had the finance silo, we had the IT silo, we had the operations silo, we had the admin silo, we had FS&C, which is a field service and collections silo. We all worked in silos. We didn't know we never communicated with each other. So when we made decisions, we never thought about, is it going to impact another department or not? Here, what happens is we're all together so consistently. It has changed the dynamic of decision making, communication. We're no longer a silo. We think of the organization as a whole versus just about our department. So, and then we think about, well, we may like this in the department, but does it really impact the whole organization as a whole? So sometimes you're like, let's hold off on this because, yeah, we like it, but it's not helping the rest of the organization. Those type of things improve significantly because let's face it, we get selfish. We want what's best for our department. And sometimes you have to sit back and say, is it better for everyone? And so that's really what was all about, is looking out for the vision of the entire organization, not just our department. And so that communication just went off the charts. So yeah, we went from silos to absolutely. Now, I'm not saying we don't ever have differences that we have to work out and work through, but the process has helped work through those opportunities.
That's great stuff. Now, Steve, last question. There's a lot of companies that Competitive Solutions is talking to. People are considering Visuant. As a longtime user who's found a lot of value in it, what would you say to a company who's assessing it and trying to decide if they should adopt Visuant and the PBS methodology?
Well, the biggest thing is it has to start up top. If the people up top all agree, they have to all be on board. And let me tell you, if they're all on board, and it takes time to get it all implemented. It takes time to get the meeting structured and the scorecards. But once you get flowing, it just works out amazing. So I would say that get the senior team or whatever top end of the corporation or organization on board. Once you get all of them on board, it's just going to filter down. And anytime you have change, you're going to have grumbling. But once it gets rolling, they're going to see the positive impact that it has on the organization, and they won't grumble too much longer.
Yeah. Well, what I appreciate in interviewing you all and learning more is it seems to me that the Visuant and the structure, the PBS model, makes for a lot of healthy environments, healthy culture, and happy workers is what it sounds like to me.
Oh yeah, the culture has skyrocketed since we started Visuant 17 years ago.
Yeah.
So it'll get better. We don't. The thing is, it's easy to get complacent with this. You can't. You want to make sure you keep. Don't let it become, oh, here we go again. You always stay on top of it and never get satisfied where you're at. And we've been pretty successful with that, and it's been great.
That's awesome. Well, Steve, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. For everybody, thank you for joining us on another episode of Competitive Solutions TV. I'm Brandon Lee. I get to be the host, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.